In a picturesque landscape of southern France, a young woman's chilling fascination with murder and identity theft sends her life into a growing spiral of obsession and chaos. As her curiosity deepens, the consequences become increasingly dangerous, threatening to destroy everything she's trying to control. So I just recently watched the first film of this franchise, Influencer. Kind of clever name. And I was really surprised at how much I actually dug the concept of this film. There have been multiple movies made over the years combining horror and social media together, but I think that the addition of adding a serial killer who's literally hell-bent on taking out these influencers because reasons that have yet to be disclosed is something that may seem simple in the surface, but overall it adds so much to the entire story. Hey, and it doesn't hurt that the killer looks like this. It doesn't hurt. We don't got a person in a mask, dude walking very slowly in a mask, or a killer clown that eats kids. I know some of y'all are into that kind of thing, and I'm not judging. I'm just concerned for you. So this movie picks up right after the events of the last film, and I was kind of worried because if you watch the last film, you know how it ended, and I was kind of like, how are we going to address that ending? Are they going to address it in this film? Thankfully, they do kind of address that thing that happens at the end of the last film in this one, but they do something in this film, which I'm guessing is going to be a theme throughout this film. I'm just going to say the film franchise because I need a third one after this, but it's that thing where they give you just enough information, just a little bit, give you a little bit to tie you over and still making you want more out of this franchise without it being annoying. It's something that you look forward to and you're really intrigued about. And all of this is held together by the amazing performance of our lead villain here, played by Cassandra Naud as CW, the serial killer going out there killing them influencers. It's kind of ironic that I'm talking about a movie that is anti-social media on a social media platform. I hope she don't come for me next. I really think that after watching Influencers, I'm going to say it, I think that the character CW is going to become a horror icon, or she's slowly becoming a horror icon. This is her breakout film. Much like Art the Clown really took off into iconic status with Terrifier 2, this is the film. This is the film that's going to launch her into the iconic status. And I know I'm throwing icon out like it's a piece of candy, but I'm really saying, watch this movie, guys. But I think it's especially because of the way that they end this film, which makes me think that this is going to be her coming out moment. Because the way that they end this film, they went in a direction that I didn't think at first. If you told me they were going in this direction, I would be like, I don't know if that really works for this film, but they do it, and I kind of was like, I think it works. I think it works. I'm interested how it's going to play out. But like I've been saying throughout this video, this franchise has got me so hooked that I want to know more. And if they keep on, if it's dragging me on to like 5 films and I still don't know what's going on, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be enjoying every moment of it. I also like in movies when our villains are not that smart, if you will. Like, they're not they're not like the ultimate intelligence or anything like that. They're flawed characters, they make mistakes. They're not as smart, they make mistakes and they readjust. And that's exactly what CW does in this franchise. And I know at moments, even I was like, yeah, that was kind of dumb for you to do. But I do like that aspect of this character. And I think when you add a foil, if you will, to CW, which we do get in this film, it adds more to her character, and I think she's going to be evolving as we go forward. And just like in the other film, we are on different locations and we see like very beautiful sets and cinematography and everything. All that from the first film is just put into this film and expanded on. I do like that they kind of put you in these situations where like we're in a beautiful place, a tropical place, or just a very stunning location, and then they can show you those places being beautiful, but at the same time, they're really dangerous as well because they're very isolated from society. Things can go wrong and people won't be there to help you. But even with all that praise and all that love that I'm giving this film, there is some flaws that I still think that's persist in this film that was happening in the first film, and that is just the pacing. Yeah, I feel like the pacing of this franchise so far has been kind of like slow, and I know that like it's feels like it's deliberate, but I think at times it kind of makes you feel like, can you get on with it? That's what I feel like some people might be feeling when they watch these films, that the pacing isn't really that good and it's kind of slow at points. And I totally get that. I feel that as well. But if you're coming into this film, you know, you watch the trailers and you're expecting like a really fast and sexy, clean horror thriller slasher kind of film where there's going to be bodies falling everywhere, let me warn you right now, it's not like that. You know, it's very slow and deliberate, like I've been saying, with its pacing and storytelling. But when you do get to that ending, and much like in the first film, the ending in this film is well worth the wait. You know, I'm gonna go watch it again after I do this video. I also do feel like that some of the characters that were introduced, the new characters that were introduced in this film, they kind of fall by the wayside. They're not really that interesting. It's not like the first film where it's like isolated with like just a couple of characters and you get to really focus on them and, you know, get to know them, and they have an opportunity to like flesh the characters out. This one kind of has like a, you know, Avengers Endgame kind of feel to it, where there's like so many characters in the movie where they don't have enough time dedicated to each of those characters. So sometimes it kind of feels like, why? You know, why did we have this character? Why did we introduce this character in the first place? Overall, I think that Influencers is a slick, sexy horror thriller that slowly introduces the world to a new horror icon in CW. It does take its time to get to the point, and it does leave you with more questions than answers. But if you are looking for something familiar with a slight twist, then I think that you should check this out. But the most important thing I want to know is, did you like this movie? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Cassandra Naud as a character? Are you agreeing with me? You know, do you think she's becoming a horror icon? I know this is more of an indie film. You know, not a lot of people are watching it. But hey, this is why I'm making this video. I'm going to manifest the horror iconness of this character to the world. But of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is Straight to VOD, the #1 place you can get movie reviews for movies that no one else is talking about. And remember, keep watching movies.